Anxiety through the roof, fighting straight demons. But that's what I do. These creepy videos will have you stunned. Jet Ski Chuck back with another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. These creepy and scary videos might have you rethink your entire reality, all from TikTok. If you guys haven't already, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button to help boost the algorithm and get these videos back out there. So without further ado, I'm not gonna hold you guys up. Let's dive into today's video.
By the Egyptians is on display at the Cairo. Straight up, if this don't change your mind about the ancient Egyptians, there's no hope for you. This large granite box carved by the Egyptians is on display at the Cairo Museum, which, by the way, granite is hard as harder than steel, and we typically use diamond-tipped electric buzzsaws to cut through it these days. So this box was abandoned by the Egyptians due to this mistake in the cut. Now wait, hold up. I want you to think about this for a sec. Modern explanations claim that the methods ancient Egyptians used to cut granite involved painfully slow and repetitive sawing techniques using copper tools. Don't you think they would have noticed a mistake like this way sooner if they were actually using those snail-paced techniques? Cut like this would have taken several hours, if not days of work, and there's no way they would have done it for that long without noticing this error. They were way smarter than that. Like seriously, the top Egyptologists claim this is how they cut granite back then. A rate of 4 millimeters per hour, and they're still standing by it. Clearly, the people cutting this block would have booked this mistake much earlier in the process. And they'd have no reason to continue sawing the granite for hours or even days longer as soon as they saw this inaccuracy. Unless they were using some other unknown cutting technique, one that is far quicker than our history books suggest, and possibly far more advanced than even our diamond-tipped buzzsaws. Hey, yo, I gotta go. I've said too much. Straight up, if this don't change your mind about the ancient Egyptians...
He said, don't come for me. I get it. Don't come for me either. Yeah, if we look at this cut right here, they were definitely something powerful was going on. You know, like a thin laser. You know, maybe Star Wars had a little truth in those lightsabers. You know, but isn't it just fascinating to think that they could have did that? I think giants might have had a role with it. You know, they had this laser etch technology, and then a giant could have possibly sawed this. We're thinking of two humans, you know, two regular size 5 foot weak humans just, you know, sawing. But what if a giant could do like a saw like that? That's another theory too. But we're going that route today, so you better lock in, buckle up. And if you haven't already, be sure you hit that like button. It really helps your boy out and push these videos out there. Shout out to Flex Pixel for these creepy videos. Let's dive in.
So we only been scratching the surface this entire time? Archaeologists are constantly finding new chambers in the pyramids that go far deeper than the outer ground level of the base. And they still haven't been able to find the bottom yet, so exactly how deep does it go? Tall obelisks like these have been found all over ancient Egypt, each with a pyramid-shaped tip. And the pointy Egyptian pyramids look much different than all the other step-shaped pyramids all around the world, so I wonder why. Almost every other ancient structure was initially buried when we first found it, like the Sphinx, Göbekli Tepe, and Chichen Itza to name a few. Why did we just assume the pyramids were fully showing at first sight? Just like we discovered with the Easter Island statues, the majority of their height is buried underground, with some important text inscribed on the side. Nowhere is it written how the pyramids were built, so it could very well be written on the buried sides here. Now I know, these buried obelisks would have been mother crackin' enormous, far bigger than what any humans would have been able to move. Let's take a second to compare to this national monument in Wyoming called the Devil's Tower. Very old rock and the only one of its size in the area, thought to be a natural formation. On closer look, it looks oddly like a petrified tree stump with many more like it around the world, which if that's the case leads to the question, who cut it down? Maybe the same giants who built these massive obelisks, which possibly got buried after worldwide floods only for the tips to be rediscovered thousands of years later by the Egyptians. Even historic texts such as the Bible refer to a race of giants called the Nephilim, and ancient drawings everywhere all too often show depictions of much larger beings. The evidence of these giants is found all across the world, from the pyramids in Devil's Tower to these giant steps in Peru, the plain of Jars in Laos, Easter Island, Nam Madol in Micronesia, this giant knife found underwater near the coast of Madagascar. All ancient discoveries which were either far too big to be practical or even physically moved by ancient humans. Once is an anomaly, twice is suspicious, but this many times all over the world, I think there's something we don't know here. So we only been scratching the surface this entire time?
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine Each pyramid is a giant obelisk. Oh my goodness. Those giants had to be massive. Completely massive if this is an entire obelisk. And who knows how many pyramids are underground? Did you catch that? Look at these pillars. Look at this. Look at the size. They could have carried these boys and stacked them back in the day. You know, from different timelines. Man, this goes deep, man. Literally. In more ways than one. We got these plain jars. They probably was using these for seasoning bowls.
Laos, Easter Island.
Look at these giant jars. They could have been using these for seasoning. You know how you put something in there and you grind it to get your seasonings right? Tell me this doesn't look like what those are, man. They're giant contraptions. They definitely couldn't have moved them. A giant had to move this, guys. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. You guys are intelligent and be putting me on, you know. You guys will say stuff in the comments. I'll be like, damn, you know, he's got a point. So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all like my best friends, you know, that I ain't got no one to talk to about this, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. But moving forward, though, these things. How do you think these giant things got there on Easter Island? They said they dug them up and it's even bigger, too. Who knows how deep those pyramids really go? Every mountain is under suspect now. I'm telling you, because there could be something up under there, man. These cities, how deep do they actually go? Look at this giant knife. Them boys was eating. What were they cutting? You know, what were they eating that big, you know? I'm telling you, look, this was a giant mountain at first. Then they uncovered it and look what they found. So I'm telling you, every single pyramid is suspect now. Every mountain, I mean, is suspect now because something could be up under there.
Hey, the real Pharaoh's curse is that we haven't built a pyramid bigger than Giza yet. I mean, just look at it. This thing is massive and it's over 4,000 years old. Oh, but we do have a pyramid bigger than that and nobody's talking about it. The Great Pyramid of Giza is peanuts against the buried Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia, and you will not believe what they found there. In 2005, archaeologist Dr. Samir Osmanagic realized, hey, this hill in the small Bosnian city of Visoko is oddly shaped like a pyramid. And shaped like a pyramid was an understatement. This hill has virtually every characteristic of a real pyramid, and we continue to ignore it. To start, it has 4 triangular sides. That's it. Pyramid confirmed. We're done. Joking, but it's got even grade slopes and corners that connect perfectly under the foliage.
Literally, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. The pyramid shape is suspicious. Come on, that's not natural forming.
Foliage, along with an apex at the very top, the exact shape of a pyramid, but oh, it don't end there, Johnny boy. It's also perfectly aligned to the cardinal directions, north, east, south, and west, much like Giza. In fact, this one is even more aligned to true north than Giza, being only 1/300th of a degree off from perfect north, whereas Giza is 2/60ths of a degree off. They even took EMF, electromagnetic frequency readers, to the top and saw readings of 60 times more of what is normally expected on Earth. Another phenomenon that tends to occur at the pyramids, and the reason why is so mind-baffling that we'll have to save that for a future video. This hill was aptly named the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, the first pyramid of its kind in Europe, taller than the Great Pyramid of Giza and even bigger than the biggest pyramid of the world, Cholula in Mexico, with 4 other smaller hills around it that are also suspected to be pyramids or some other structures, as is usually the case at these ancient sites. Sure, it might just look like a hill covered in trees, but have a look at what the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, Mexico looked like before it was excavated and after. Same with Machu Picchu, and after, and Chichen Itza, and after. Any ancient site that isn't in a desert is typically covered with overgrowth, and the Bosnian pyramid is looking a lot like that before stage. And just have a look at these drone shots and tell me these formations look natural to you. So Dr. Osmanagic began to...
My question real quick for you guys is, I wonder if this is before the 1,000-year reign or after. You know, I just want to think, how old really are these for that to happen? Just out of curiosity, if you guys might know.
The excavations, and now get this, radiocarbon analysis taken from the rocks hidden beneath the vegetation revealed that this pyramid would be over 35,000 years old, the oldest pyramid in the world by a long shot, over 30,000 years older than Giza, during a time in which traditional history claims only tribes and cavemen incapable of erecting such monuments roamed the earth, far before any civilizations began to form, or so we think. For reference, here's a timeline of all major ancient civilizations and structures built around the world, and here is where the Bosnian pyramid would stand in that timeline. Excavations also revealed huge blocks of 7 tons each stacked with geopolymer binding, which is an ancient type of cement, and perfect placement, along with perfectly landscaped terraces and other obvious architectural design, but oh no, these are all natural. Note that this was all uncovered up to a meter underground, as would be expected of a pyramid over 35,000 years old. And of course, the archaeological gatekeepers of the world insisted this is just coincidental, with some even going as far as saying
Archaeological gatekeepers. I love that, man. Stop gatekeeping and let the truth out. Stop the gatekeeping. Let the people have it. Let the collective have the information.
Dr. Osmanagic purposely placed these carved stones here to deceive the public. And famed Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, who oversees most of the Egyptian pyramid investigations, even petitioning the Bosnian government to stop these excavations. Within hours of this international discovery, the story is swept under the rug and labeled a hoax. Well, over 50 archaeologists around the world remained optimistic and actually joined Osmanagic's work in Bosnia, with virtually every single one of them who actually saw it in person confirming that nature could not have formed these hills. Further studies revealing an entire underground tunnel system in the area, the longest subterranean complex of any pyramid in the world. Inside these tunnels, large stone blocks were found that clearly seemed to be artificially created and placed. Other artifacts like this giant round stone that no one can explain, and a whole bunch of other smaller ancient trinkets, statues, and even what appears to be a map carved into stone were all found around the Bosnian Valley of Pyramids, all dismissed as irrelevant or flat out ignored by mainstream archaeology. Even the peak of the Sun Pyramid forms a perfect triangle with the peaks of the nearby hills, dubbed the Pyramids of the Moon and the Dragon. Another crazy coincidence.
Man, he's throwing a lot at us. The pyramids of the moon and dragon. What? That granite. Perfectly granite. That map, though. Yeah, it does look like a map. Or some type of tablet they're trying to write on. If you guys have any information on that, please put in the comments below. What is this map? Towards Atlantis?
Found around the Bosnian Valley of Pyramids, all dismissed as irrelevant or flat out ignored by mainstream archaeology. Even the peak of the Sun Pyramid forms a perfect triangle with the peaks of the nearby hills, dubbed the Pyramids of the Moon and the Dragon. Another crazy coincidence, right? After much pushback, the government actually did grant Osmanagic the right to continue excavations. But with no official funding, the entire project depends on donations and volunteer work. These excavations are still going on, but after tourism to Bosnia slowed down in the last couple of years, progress on these pyramids have as well. As with anything, you could probably rationalize a completely valid reason for each of these discoveries, and maybe it really is somehow just a hill. So, you think we're tweaking on this one, or are we onto something? Who's ready to get digging? Hey, the real Pharaoh's curse is that we haven't.
I'm ready to get digging, brother. He put that hat on and said, let's get digging. I'm with it, man. We need to figure out what's really going on under those pyramids, man. More artifacts, more truth. But man, the Pyramid of Sun in Bosnia, we gotta look into that. We gotta check this out. I got my notepad, my notes. It's time to jump into submersible. Activate. Some of y'all said y'all don't like the submersible, man. We ain't kids. You know, man, let me do my thing, y'all. I enjoy doing this. This is how I have fun. So stop making fun of me. Now, let's do this research, you see? Pyramid of the Sun. How interesting is that? Pyramid of the Sun, though? That's bonkers. Me a shirt, but there are temples under the dirt. Shout out to my lunch break for this video, man. If you love Tartaria just as much as me, my lunch break is the best when it comes to breaking all this stuff down. Be sure to check them out. Let's dive into this video.
Covered by a layer of dirt and grass. If the layer of grass was removed and exposed what is really under it, the entire USA narrative would be completely shredded and thrown in the garbage, as it should be. People would be so confused why there's a massive pyramid and other pyramids connected to each other. It's a 2,200 acre site. Construction of the Monks Pyramid began about 1,123 years ago, so they say, on a site that has already been occupied by buildings. Already had buildings? I'm sorry, what? In the year 900, they already had buildings? So at the same time, over in Italy, we have the St. Mark's Basilica being built, in a time period before they even knew how to make paper, supposedly. So Italy is building this, and then we have massive pyramids and buildings being built in the USA by the Mississippian culture, which is completely ridiculous. Because if they can build massive pyramids, then they can build a better hut than this to live in. The narrative is contradicting itself, because 850 years later, we get cowboys and Indians, and everyone is freezing in the winters in their shed. And so we're on the same page. The St. Mark's Basilica and these pyramids were built in the year 850 to 900, supposedly. And then we have all kinds of basilicas and massive structures being constructed for centuries in this ridiculous timeline that we're given. And then once 1900 hits, we are no longer able to construct the St. Mark's Basilica, or a Cologne Cathedral, or a Milan Cathedral. It is very clear that there was a reset, and our timeline is a complete fabrication.
You know, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about the 1,000-year reign, guys, because could you imagine, could this be possibly one of the buildings during the 1,000-year reign? I'm starting to think about it, man. They added 1,000 years to our timeline or took away 1,000. I don't know. We definitely need to dive into that soon, but not right now. We own these pyramids, but best believe it's coming.
In my opinion. Now, if you're on the fence, this should help bring you over. If this was a narrative that you would stand by, blindly accepting, no matter what, I think this is the time to reconsider. Since you would be backing up a mainstream narrative theory that is, by admission, a theory and not at all proven, botanical or a substance from a plant that they found that remains from the Monk Pyramid, suggests it was built much more quickly than previously thought, suggests, perhaps, maybe, on the order of several consecutive decades, but we don't know. It might be, providing an alternative view of its construction history. And there we have it. The mainstream narrative cannot explain these structures because they don't fit into the mainstream timeline. A much more logical explanation is that the previous civilization was here, an extremely advanced civilization. Should we blow this narrative away? Should we expose it and show that they are not being truthful with us? Should we show that it's not from 1,000 years ago? Let's do it. Thomas I. Ramey, who bought the site in 1864, of course. As soon as the 1800s hit, like we talked about, this is when they had to figure out the narrative. And this site was not fitting in. They tell us that an era of more responsible ownership began. What a joke. Many artifacts were found at or near the surface. Really? Finding the old world's things and removing them so that we don't see. Very interesting. So there were things here in the 1800s that would have been important for our research. Ramey had a tunnel made, or did he locate one? After everything we have seen, even in the last 5 episodes, do you?
They didn't have that tunnel made. You guys know they found that tunnel, just like they found all these buildings for entertainment purposes. Don't come for me. Talk to him my lunch break. Talk to him, MLB.
Do you think this guy made a tunnel, or do you think he found one? And of course, they brush it off and say that the tunnel revealed nothing of historic interest. I'm sorry, but the first time I read that, I laughed out loud. Could this be any more in your face and right on point with what we were talking about? Tunnels, removing things from the site, all once our new civilization's timeline hits. Not in the 1400s or 16.
Keep a look at how they blot out the sky too. I'm sure there was so much more in the sky, but they blocked everything out, didn't they? The first Photoshop ever. Look at this. If we zoomed in all the way, I bet you could see crooked lines. The worst, oldest Photoshop ever.
1800s? No. Right when the mid 1800s hit, this all takes place. Incredible. And if you thought I was crazy, thinking that removing the dirt would expose the past civilization's work, let me show you what I'm talking about and exactly why they keep this thing covered up with grass and dirt. In 1970, they adopted an incredible strategy, one that only a genius would ever think to do: scraping away the topsoil. Unbelievable. They dug down 2 feet, and this quickly revealed various features, including what appeared to be the outline of the temple. 2 feet under the dirt, we have a temple. We have something unbelievable. This is not a mound. This is a pyramid. And I'm sure the architecture is insane and unexplainable in this make-believe mainstream narrative timeline, which is why it's covered up with dirt and grass, as well as the rest of the 2,200 acres of pyramids.
I'm telling you, man, there's probably more pyramids in America than there is anywhere else. Them boys is just buried under dirt. And the archaeologists or whoever, the Smithsonian, they know. They like, man, we ain't even gonna touch this one because it's gonna expose a lot. You see, they trying to get rid of all these cathedrals and stuff, you know? So it's like, man, for entertainment purposes only, they like, leave it there. They don't need any more ammo for us. But MLB gonna break it down for us. I love these videos.
This technique was, of course, opposed by professional archaeologists. So they stopped because they found too much and would shatter their lie. Wow. Now here in the preservation section, they're going to try and explain how it stays in perfect condition for hundreds and hundreds of years. But right when the 1950s hit, all of these random natural catastrophes happen. And of course, accidentally damaged the clay layers within. Can you believe it? I don't. And to put a nail in this narrative, once and for all, they say this was a clay structure, but workers discovered a mass of stone deep within the mound. This is a stone structure, not a clay structure. And we are being lied to about this pyramid at every turn, covered by dirt. And the previous civilization's work is hidden in plain sight.
There you have it. They're trying to hide these buried temples, and they're not even going to dig them up. So anytime you see a hill that looks suspicious, guess what? There's a chance there's an ancient temple up under there, and who knows how low it goes into the ground or how many tunnels are there. Let's keep it going.
Pyramids. In truth, they are pyramids and no one notices. Wait a minute. Those mountains in Bosnia look like pyramids. In truth, they are pyramids and no one notices. Wait a minute. The oldest pyramids in the world are not in Egypt, but in Europe. Yes, more precisely in Bosnia. These are pyramids. My goodness, how old must they be that almost a second planet has blossomed on them? The Bosnian pyramids have long been a controversial topic of discussion. The largest of the three, the Pyramid of the Sun, is even 60% taller than the Great Pyramid of Giza, while some argue that they are simply a natural formation formation. Others believe there is evidence of human involvement. A team of scientists conducted a study on the pyramids and found that they are over 24,800 years old and made of sandstone conglomerate blocks, which were also used by ancient Romans. The pyramids were discovered near the town of Visoko, Bosnia and Herzegovina in 2005 by Semir Osmanić, who also leads the excavation effort. The current research says that the first advanced civilizations were the Sumerians and lived 5,500 years ago. So if it says that someone built the pyramids in Bosnia and that 30,000 years ago, we can be sure that we can start our research right back at zero. Those mountains in Bosnia look like pyramids. In truth, they are.
This is one of the largest pyramids in the world, the Pyramid of the Sun, located in Teotihuacan, about an hour away from Mexico City. We can see the Valley of Mexico surrounding us, and this is the Avenue of the Dead. It leads right to the other pyramid, the Pyramid of the Moon. If we can see it from this angle, we can notice that it mimics the same shape as the mountain right behind. Same thing happens with here, with the Pyramid of the Sun. But who were the Teotihuacan people? Well, this was a full-scale city, and it's believed that up to 200,000 people lived here, predating the Aztecs by more than 1,300 years. This was around the same time as ancient Rome. And these entire area, all these streets, were actually paved. And apparently they had canals that flowed all the way down. So this is Teotihuacan.
Up on the magic school bus and visit all these sites, man. The magic jet ski. Jump on the magic jet ski and travel to all this stuff, man. I want to see it all. I've been locked in this damn dungeon pumping these videos, these creepy videos out, man. Hold on. Look at back there. What if back there is another pyramid too? How crazy would that be? If that entire structure back there was a pyramid. Let me know your thoughts below. But yeah, your boy need a vacation, man. Been overdue. Way too stressed. Anxiety through the roof. Fighting straight demons. But that's what I do.
I'd like to take you a little tour through the Ravna one, the tunnel one. And you can see here on the board that at various locations it tells you a bit about the measured frequency in that area, as well as the temperature and the oxygen saturation, and importantly the amount of ions. It's a very ionic area, so when you breathe in these ions, these high hydrogen ions, it's very good for your health. You'll find that lots of healing water, such as Lourdes, is full of hydrogen ions. It's very beneficial for you. So the whole of the pyramids is very healing, and people go in there and then leave testimonies on what they found has healed them. It's because of the environment, the oxygen, the ions in there. As you can see, they've done a great job in preserving what they've done. Most of this has been done through volunteers. This extensive cave network, it was not dug out, these tunnels weren't dug out by these people. What you can see around you is some wooden structures that have been brought in to try and help, just for a little bit of safety. But originally the tunnels were already here, and all the people have done is excavated the earth. I'd like to take you a little tour.
How cool is that? They said just breathing in the ions help you out in your health. The water, man, I never thought of it like that. Let me know your guys' thoughts below on that.
Ancient pyramids in Mississippi and their strange powers. So Mississippi, beautiful land, hold a secret that go against what we usually know. There was ancient pyramids that belonged to a smart group of people a long time ago. Now we gonna learn about these lost pyramids, which was broken down when them new folk came to America, and how they still impact people today. Now it's similar to the Bermuda Triangle in a story from the past, way before Columbus came. Before he came to America, a group of people lived here and built things like pyramids. And these pyramids showed just how smart these folks was and how good they was at building and knowing about the stars and all that kind of junk. And people think that these pyramids were very special places for their beliefs, but history books don't talk much about it. Matter of fact, they don't talk at all about it. Now these pyramids was destroyed and hidden. So when them new folk came from Europe, they took over the land and destroyed a lot of the old stuff because, they ain't mean nothing to them, including these pyramids. Now they wanted to take away the cultures of the people. It was like the number one way to just slap them in the face. But some say that not all the pyramids was destroyed. Some of them still buried under hills, all over the Mississippi area, all up along the Mississippi River and all that. And these hidden pyramids is waiting to be found and studied. Now, it's like a magic type of thing around them. And what's interesting, these pyramids is thought to have some kind of power that affect people's minds. Just like them strange things that happen up in the Bermuda Triangle. These pyramids said to give off this energy that can change the way we think. And people believe that being near these can make us feel different and even see things that ain't normal. Changing how people think. And people who've gone near the pyramids where the hidden stuff might be, they talk about these strange experiences. And they say they felt that their senses were stronger and they saw things they couldn't explain. And they felt like their minds was different. And this makes us wonder if these old pyramids still having an impact on us even though they're hidden away. Now, the pyramids of Mississippi is important because they tell us about people who lived a long time ago and just how smart they really was. A lot of the stuff we got that we think is new now, that junk ain't new. And we should work to find these pyramids and learn from them and the magic stuff that they got coming up off of them. But it reminds us of the past that still can affect us in ways we don't understand.
There's nothing new under the sun. I never been to Mississippi, man, but I can only imagine, the type of vibrational power that they might be giving off. I gotta see it for myself and feel it. People talk about ley lines, it might be. These pyramids might really be built on ley lines. Let me know your thoughts below.
Discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization off the coast of St. Bernard Parish.
He claims there are large mounds underwater that may have once been the site of a lost city thousands of years ago.
Paul Murphy reports local fishermen have long talked about strange and unexplained things happening in that area.
The Chandeleur Islands are a chain of uninhabited barrier islands located in the Gulf of Mexico, 50 miles east of New Orleans. But 12,000 years ago, before a dramatic sea level rise at the end of the last ice age, this area may have been dry land.
3 different search areas.
Retired architect and amateur archaeologist George Gillet believes the site, now underwater, was once home to an ancient civilization. He dubbed the city Crescentis.
What's down there is hundreds of buildings that are covered with sand and silt and that are geographically related to the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Giza is a city in northern Egypt where ancient pyramids and the Sphinx are located. Gillet claims to have found mysterious mounds of granite under Chandeleur Sound. Granite is not native to Louisiana or Mississippi.
Somebody floated billion stones down the Mississippi River and then assembled them outside of what would later become New Orleans.
Floated, or an airship carried them, or a giant carried them. Those giant stones.
How long this road is? What's behind all this? What y'all think the gun behind him? Y'all know some of them pyramids back through there. NASA and all that equipment they be hiding all back through here. Yeah. I mean, it's the front of the car, it's the back. Look down through there. Nothing. I'm on the side of the road trying to see through there. Nothing. Nothing but bushes all down through here, guys. Look. Y'all know they got some hid back there. Look at that. What are the houses? None. Nothing but that. Video. You see how long this road is?
I ain't mad at her. She got out the car and said, y'all hide something. I know. Where's the pyramids at? I'm not mad. We need more boots on the ground. You know? Start buying land in Mississippi, man, that got giant mounds on it. And don't tell nobody. Just do your own thing. Start renting excavators. You know? But they're gonna find you, man. So don't come for me. For entertainment purposes only. Damn, I'm feeling better, man. It feels good to feel normal for once. I'm feeling still fighting these demons a little bit, man, but your boy feeling a lot better, man. I love y'all, man. If you still here rocking with me, I love y'all, man. Please hang in there. I got more videos. And it would make sense because if we look at this, the Mississippi River is leading to the Gulf of Mexico. So that just adds a little bit more validity to that. Uh-oh, I think they found one. I think they found one, guys.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I believe this. 4 pyramid mounds surrounding an open plaza. Back here somewhere. You can check it out. It is on private property. View the site from the book.
This is a diagram of the 4 pyramid mounds found at Glass Mounds on private land in Vicksburg, Mississippi. These are mound markers of the Mississippian culture mounds all over Mississippi. But check out the symbolism at the top. The two-headed serpent is thought to represent many things, the rebirth and the resurrection. The two heads representing both the earth and the underworld. This is pottery from the Mississippian culture with the two-headed serpent on it. Guess who else had it? The Mayans, the Aztecs, passed down to the Egyptians, and you know the Greeks stole it. But we know what kind of people they were. We know the truth now.
Glass mounds? Are you serious? More like the ancient pyramid hidden mounds. Have y'all ever heard about that? Hey, if y'all out in Mississippi, man, y'all got pyramids, and they calling them the glass mounds. They said, we're not digging this up. They're not about to see these boys. We got enough demolition work to do on our hands. The jig's up. Like my boy said, oh, we got y'all now. We got y'all now. I ain't gonna say it because I don't like to cuss, man. Now you gotta ask yourself, why is this White House looking structure in Mississippi, Rome, and in Washington, all over? It say Illinois on it if I'm not mistaken. So an airship could have probably picked this up back in the day and dropped it off the top. They moved them. They were rotating the world fairs like a real circus, using giants or airships to carry these structures everywhere. That's why we see the same structures in different places, literally the same building. Ain't nobody talking, they just walking and showing y'all. So I'm letting y'all know what I think. They have photos. I'm not gonna find them now, but they got photos of the same building that moved in different locations. Not just the same looking structure. No, literally the same building they picked up and moved. How they did it? That's the $1 million question. That's what we on these waters trying to figure out, man.
This is the old Mississippi State Capitol building. This building was said to be built in 1839. This building is really an ancient temple. The copper dome is an ancient temple design. A dome is a celestial reference. It's like a hovering sky. Let's keep going. While restoring this building, they were recoppering the dome. Check out the copper dome at the top. This building was made of ancient marble. Despite many handicaps such as economic depression and a lack of skilled workers, they made a foundation of limestone, 3-story building with a copper dome. This is an old picture of that building standing alone in its original state. The inside was in shambles. How does a new construction in the 1830s get in shambles like this? Let's keep going. As you can see, they put drywall and stucco over all the ancient brickwork in this 3-story building. That's crazy. And they also stuccoed the outside of the ancient building. We know the truth now. This is the old Mississippi.
Shout out to We Know the Truth Now. He said they slapped stucco on the outside. Man, this is... Man, how nice would it be to see it all in its prime? That would be a sight, wouldn't it?
We know the truth now here. I'm out visiting the large burial mounds in Pocahontas, Mississippi. Let's keep going.
We know the truth now here. I don't know why people think these mounds are just dirt mounds. These are mound pyramids, people. And I'm walking up.
Hold on, like Pocahontas, the movie Pocahontas? Oh, man. Truth is stranger than fiction. Make you rethink your whole reality, man.
Walking up on one right now. Roll the coin. Oh, here we go. Stay with me. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is a conical mound. A great chief was buried here in Pocahontas, Mississippi, thousands of years ago. We know the truth now.
Roll the coin. You hear that? I hope y'all can hear that sound effect. Roll the coin. Oh, I really hope y'all can hear the sound effect. Roll the coin. That was a good one, man. They lying to us about everything, man. I hope that's what it means by roll the coin. Whatever side it land on, what are the probabilities, man? That's all I got for today's episode, man. I need at least some of the data myself, man. I be dropping banger after banger after banger, man. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button, man. Throw your boy a little super thanks or something, man. It's your boy, Jet Ski Chuck, trying to go hard on these waters, man. Ain't no gatekeeping around here. I'll let y'all have it. Roll the coin. I'm out this thing, man. See y'all in the next video. Peace.